I am completely obsessed. Hey, how are you doing on this beautiful day? In today's video, we are going to be reviewing the second book to A Court of Thorns and Roses. This one called A Court of Mist and Fury, and I am super excited to be reviewing this book for you. Court of Mist and Fury was first published in 2016 by Sarah J. Maas. Now, if you have not read A Court of Thorns and Roses, I suggest that you leave this video because this might contain some spoilers and ruin that first book for you. So I just want you to be aware as we are going in to review the second book. So this book starts off with following Farah after everything, all of the trauma that happened under the mountain. It kind of shows us how poorly she is healing from this, how much this is wrecking her. She is having night terrors, she's getting sick, she's not eating, she's losing weight, and she is absolutely miserable. She's just not getting any better, and as the book progresses, she just keeps getting worse and worse. But she is continuing on. She is not talking to Tamlin about it. They are pretending that none of this is happening, and they're just going forward with planning their wedding. Now, when starting this book, we do have that bargain that Farah made with Rhysand in the first book, where she was to go and spend a week with him out of a month. And in this book, it's been 3 months in the beginning of the book where she has not heard from Rhysand, and it's just kind of a thought that she keeps going back to in the back of her mind. Also reading it, I was like, okay, when is Rhysand gonna come and collect? When are we gonna see this happen? I don't know. I was very curious about it. I wasn't sure where it was going to go. You guys, I cannot read these books fast enough. Like, I am super obsessed with these books. I think I finished this one in a week. Like, I have to know what is happening. I have to know what's going on. I am super obsessed with them. This is going to be a collection that I keep and reread again. I'm a huge fan. Like, there's been a little bit of a rumor that Hulu picked this up, and I really hope that this isn't another one of those TV shows where they say they're gonna make it and then nothing ever transpires. I'm really hoping that we get to see this become a series, because I think it will be one of the most watched series. I will say, the first part of this book, I felt like it drug a little bit. Like, I felt like it was very repetitive of the things that she was going through. Her attitude just kind of sucked at the beginning of this book. I don't know if it's just me, but I was just kind of like, oh, okay, let's move on from this. Let's move on. But it does pick up, and it does get really, really exciting. We are also learning how Farah is adjusting to being immortal, to being a fairy now, because in A Court of Thorns and Roses, she was turned into a fairy at the very end when she died. I can't get enough of these books. The adventure, the mystery, the fantasy, the romance. Like, I cannot get enough of these. They are so good. I find myself truly enjoying these and just absolutely loving them. And I just read, like I said, so extremely fast. I am going to rate this book 5 stars. And the reason I'm going to rate it 5 stars is because at the very end of this book, the writer actually fooled me. And I'm one of those people where I can guess the end of every movie. Like, I start watching it and I'm like, this is what's gonna happen. And so I really like when something can happen in the book and it will completely fool me, like make me think that it's one way. I mean, I read the end part of this book of what happens, and I was mad. Like, I was like, this is not right, and I don't want to read this anymore. And I was actually getting upset because I believed what was happening so much that, I mean, the writer fooled me. And so I rate it 5 stars. If you can truly fool me on something, then you have my love and devotion. You have, like, you made me just go, yes, I like this book, because I couldn't foresee what was going to happen. Every chapter, I wanted more. I would read a chapter and I would be like, okay, this is it. I have to get to bed, and I couldn't put it down. I had to read one more. Like, it has become a routine now that I get my household chores done and all of my adult responsibilities done on Saturdays, so that on Sunday, as I'm doing laundry, I can read a chapter and, you know, kind of balance the two. But I have to read on Sundays because I've just been so obsessed with these books. Okay, so spoiler alert, we are getting into spoilers, so if you have not read this book, this is your time to shut this video off and come back later after you've read it, and then we can discuss. Okay, so the book starts off with following Farah and Tamlin and how they are doing from being out and free from under the mountain. They are in the process of planning their wedding, but their relationship isn't doing very good because they are not having very good communication. They're ignoring that they both have trauma from under the mountain, and Tamlin has gone into this protect mode and he won't let Farah do things, and it gets so extreme that at one point he even locks her in the house and doesn't let her leave. As they are planning their wedding, in the back of Farah's mind, she's constantly wondering if Rhysand is going to come and claim his bargain that she made with him under the mountain, where she will go and spend a week out of a month with him. So far he hasn't shown up, but the day of the wedding, lo and behold, Rhysand shows up and claims his bargain and steals Farah away before she is able to marry Tamlin. When she does go back from Rhysand, Tamlin questions her and kind of treats her as though she is a spy and expects her to tell him every little bit of detail from the Court of Knights. So she feels like a spy. When Tamlin does make the mistake of locking Farah in the house by herself, not letting her out, she goes into sheer panic because of being locked under the mountain. She goes into sheer panic, has like all of this magical stuff start happening, and Rhysand comes to the rescue, comes in and gets her. Actually, he sends somebody else to go and get her, but she is taken away from Tamlin and goes to stay with Rhysand. This is where Rhysand gives her a choice. He asks her to work with him, and he shares everything with her. He invites her to meet all of the members of his team or his family, everybody that works closely with him. She starts getting to meet everybody who is involved with the Night Court, and she starts learning that the Night Court is not as bad as it is rumored to be. So the book is like a continuous flirtation between Rhysand and Farah, and it almost is such a continuous flirtation that like she'll be so hot and cold. Like it's like she wants to be with Rhysand, but she doesn't want to be with Rhysand, and it's like a fight. And that was the only negative thing I could say about this book, is that part just seemed to drag on for me. It was like they would lead up to where you think maybe something's gonna happen between them, and then no. So that part kind of drug on for me, but they do kind of have this flirtation. It starts building into something, and then they are attacked. Rhysand is down and out, so she goes out and ends up finding out that Rhysand is actually her mate, which I want to say that I did guess this part, because at the very end of A Court of Thorns and Roses, when he makes eye contact with her and then acts shocked and and has to leave, I immediately thought, mate, that's her mate. So I kind of had the suspicion already with the mate. So that part did not fool me. I was able to guess that part. This book is full of action and mystery and solving problems, and a lot of times you're like screaming at the book like, no! Like, it was good. It kept me highly entertained. So I will be reading the rest of this series. I am on the third book now, and as soon as I finish it, I will have another fun review from you. I want to know, are you reading A Court of Thorns and Roses series? Have you read the books? What has been your favorite book so far? I really truly am enjoying this. I hope you guys are enjoying these book reviews. If you are, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, please click the subscribe button and the little bell so you get notified when I post my next video. Thanks for watching.